Morning, y'all. It's Kate at Kate's God's Chicken and Cat Ramblings, and I made a little bit of a green bean video earlier, picking green beans, but I'm not. I think I'm just gonna trash it. I meant to sit still in this little chair and pick them. Normally, I just hang upside down and go through the plants, but I'm still recovering a bit from the salmonella, and hanging upside down makes my head hurt. But these are the Landreth stringless bush beans from Haas Tools, and I have those 2 6-foot rows, and then a couple of 5-foot rows, 4 to 5 foot rows. I still got half a pack of beans, but only the 2 shorter rows, the 4 to 5 foot rows, were ready for picking. They still have a lot of small ones in their upper branches and lots of blooms, and then the ones that are about a week behind these are loaded also. So we're gonna have a lot of green beans for dinner tonight, and I'm not big into canning. For one, I just don't enjoy doing it. It's time consuming, and so I tend to blanch my green beans. I leave them whole, and I blanch them, and then I have a vacuum sealer contraption, so I vacuum seal them and freeze them. I kind of actually like the consistency of them better than smushy canned ones. But anywho, this is I don't know. I think it probably holds a gallon maybe. And it's only about half full. I don't think I have a half gallon green beans, but probably close. But they look great. They're stringless. Of course, I love that. It's going to be a hot day. So I brought a battery out for the fan for my chickens. That's Bonnie Lass's booty you see there. And she's she's born on the 26th of April, so do the math. 11, 12 weeks. Yeah, she's probably about 11 weeks. And she's the only one with a comb, and she's starting to make a little bit of a waddle. But her hackle feathers are getting longer, and her tail feathers, she might be starting to develop some saddle feathers. So Miss Bonnie Lass there, which that thing sticking up is not her head, that's her tail. They're eating, may end up being a laddie and not a lassie. So we may have to just call it a laddie if it becomes a rooster. I've always considered her top of the pecking order, and sometimes she can kind of be bossy, but the other Americana right here, which you can't see in the dark, there's Miss Bonnie Lass. I know you see more of the fence. This is my old iPhone 7, and it doesn't film as well as. Hi, pretty girl with the crooked beak, or a pretty lad with the beak. Her hackle feathers are getting longer, and she may not be developing saddle feathers, but her comb and her waddle and her red eyes, she might end up being a roo. We'll just wait and see. So right now in the shade outside their coop, it's 90. The high today is supposed to be, I think, 90, 91. I thought that wasn't supposed to come till about 2 o'clock. It's not even noon yet. Maybe 11 a.m. Butterflies are trying to figure out how to get in the chicken coop. I will eventually take this smaller mesh probably out, just cut it out. It's good for other things, but and it's not like it hampers the flow, but there's sometimes I just want to pay it to stick through one of these holes and push something around without having to climb in the coop, and this makes it hard. So anyway, yeah, we lifted yesterday. I don't know if you can really tell. Here's the coop. We put it up on a pallet, got off the ground, just starting to warp a little bit. If we get the other crate, which is still being used to prop something up at Paul's shop, I want to sit it on top and that would make it probably 8 feet high in the coop. They can roost higher. I can cut windows, but I've decided that if it ends up becoming unfeasible to use it or unavailable, then what I'm going to do is, I know I'm always sharing Coop ideas. This is where we had to turn it over and clean. Anyway, just the hoopla of getting it over upside down and then back where it was. But if that other large crate pallet is not going to be available, I decided I'm going to put one of these really long, probably 8-foot ladder looking pallets, very narrow, along the back, cut the other one in half and use it on the sides, and then we're going to put a tin roof on. And then I'll of course leave some of the gaps open. I mean, it's all going to be covered in chicken wire, but I'll leave some of those gaps open for airflow, but the others I'll just fill in and make a because there's only these on the outside, so I can put plywood on the inside, and then I can always insulate it if I need to, but just so that they can roost higher and have nice high roost. I won't be trying to roost on the nest boxes, keep it on their sisters' heads. You know how chickens are, they don't really give a shit. But this I'm going to lengthen from where I'm at. I'm going to bring it back here alongside the tree, and we'll clear all this out. And I don't think I'm going to go any wider because there is a bit of a divot on that side, but I very much could slide this back. I think I'm just going to make it longer, and I'm going to frame it up and make it solid, and then they'll have the tractor. I'm going to put a better door in, and then we'll just put the tractor up to the door, and in the mornings when they run out into the tractor, we'll shut them in and then move them around the yard. But those cabbage white butterflies are so cute. They're just playing. But that's kind of where we're at right now. I'm going to take these green beans in and rinse them, submerge them in some cold water, and decide what I'm going to do with them. I'm kind of itchy from digging around in the green beans. Let's see how the front garden's doing, just for giggles. There's some seeds. But, yeah, once again, I'm not sponsored by us. I just, upon recommendations and researching into the how well their products do, I thought I would spend a little bit extra money and give them a try this year. And I've been very happy with everything but the broccoli. But the broccoli hasn't, what do they call it when it goes to, it hasn't bolted, if broccoli bolts, but it, more roses. And that one pink wildflower that I wanted to see what it was going to look like, because I could only tell it was pink by the bud, is right there, being enjoyed by a little tiny bee of sorts. But yeah, I think those white ones are going to pop out soon. Hopefully they'll cool off this evening, and I'm going to weed eat with the electric weed eater. I'll just plug it into a long extension cord, but my new one hasn't arrived. But I would love to get some of the weeds out of these, but you just can't pull the weeds without accidentally pulling up wildflowers. And it's not so thick that they seem to mind. But yeah, that was all clipped down, mowed down to ground level, and it's a couple 3 inches high again. Hate that weed. But anyway, birds and wind chimes. Probably get some fresh water. They just got fresh water last night, but you know how birds are. They're dirty bathers. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the wildflowers. And I may start, instead of every year spending money on annuals that just, you know, have such a short life, start seeding wildflower in around all my lilies. And the daylily that has a different type of I don't know what you call it. Well, maybe it's not different. It just looks different. Maybe because the others pop out before I even notice. But this one, which is the very pale pink, blush pink, a color my mom used to call titty pink when we were kids. We thought it was funny because she says the word titty. But anyway, it's just that pale blush pink. And it only had like one little stalk, and I thought maybe it's not going to do well because it did get halfway crushed last year when the tree fell. But it looks like it's going to be putting on a show here soon. I don't know if it's been our weather or our water, but a couple of my lily stalks don't look great. But this is the big white lilies. And this was the side over here that really got the worst damage, so I don't know what that's going to say for how they bloom this year. Yeah, as hot as it is, let's cycle down the street. Let's pick a really hot day, the hottest part of the day, and go cycling. I don't get it. I mean, you love the sport, but nobody loves heat stroke or dehydration, but that's just my lazy opinion. OMG. OMG. I know that's such a useful kind of phrase for someone my age, but 53 is not that old, but look. I had totally expected no blooms this year off the hydrangea. This is some crap I need to weed eat since my little mower broke. But look, looks like I'm going to get a bloom. That's the only one I see. I don't see any other little tops that might bloom in here. Not on this plant. And this one took the brunt of, well, all of them were in line for the tree, and they all got crushed. And now they don't get shade since that tree is gone, but it's making a little tree, so that probably helps a little bit in the late afternoon. But I was thinking if they survived, probably this fall, after the season's over, I'll move them. But when you move them, you tend to forfeit a season of, and sometimes two, of flowers. But I can't wait to get out here and weed eat tonight and get this ugly grass out of the way. But yay! So that one's gonna bloom. I might only get one bloom this year. I may have to cut her just to savor her and enjoy her, but so that she'll stay brighter, more dark purple the longer she stays out here. But anyway, so I'm heading back in. This one I haven't cut the dead ones off yet, so it forces me to go around back. Oh, this little spent bloom on the hibiscus. She's been doing well, and I have yet to feed her. And she's been blooming like crazy, so I guess I need to do that. Anyhow, I'm going to get these green beans in and cool off and wash my arms and legs where they're all feeling all itchy, and check on my kitty. He came out to visit me when I was in the garden. Let's see if he's still there. And he, because you know it's garden chickens and cat ramblings, we're going to throw butterflies and bunnies in too, but I petted him and loved on him for a minute, and then he decided he was going to plop down in a very shady spot here under the green beans. In this corner between the green beans and the zinnia, but nope, he's gotten up. When he first came over, his black fur was quite hot, so I knew he'd been out in the sun or prowling, but maybe he's on the porch having a snack. But yeah, garden's doing great. I got more zucchini this morning, which means zucchini for dinner. I'm gonna freeze some, and I'll probably be making zucchini bread before the week's out. Get off me, bug. Yuck. It's not like I'm afraid of the bugs, I just don't like the feeling of them crawling on me. Heebie-jeebies. Looking forward to the sunflowers popping out. Everyone have a great day and stay cool. Bye for now.